Hello, I'm glad you could join me today. We're going to be listening to some Cosmo Canyon. There are actually two different Cosmo Canyon tracks I want to check out, and then we have a couple more tracks from Persona 5. This is by insaneintherainmusic. And if you've not heard insaneintherainmusic, I highly recommend him. I will, of course, leave his stuff in the description and the link to the song, as well as the other musician that we'll be listening to primarily tonight, the Consouls. The Consouls are very, very good at jazz, and so is Insane in the Rain. I really just wanted to kind of listen to this music with y'all. I didn't really have anything specific to talk about. It's 2:30 a.m. right now, on Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. The election is almost behind us. And that's good. I'm getting tired of talking about politics to people that clearly have no understanding of the law or have any respect for the people that make it. Because that does get tiring after a while. But I can't blame people for trying to be a part of politics. I mean, these are things that matter to everybody. A lot of important topics like abortion and global warming and who's going to lead us out of COVID right now. Hopefully Biden can do that. I don't particularly like talking bad about Trump because, all things considered, he did do a lot of the things he said he was going to do. And even though this last year was not a very good example, I do think that he was overall a decent president. There were a lot of bad things that happened throughout his election, though. Throughout his 4 years. His term time, not election. And people hated him now just as much, if not more, than they did 4 years ago, which is not surprising. But never fear, the Orange Man is out of office, and we no longer have a Cheeto for a president. Sorry, I shouldn't be so cynical of our nation. Well, of my nation. You might be from another country. You might be of another nationality. And if you are, I'm glad that you're listening to this here with me. Carlos does an amazing job. These are all these instruments you hear are one man, which is what is insane about Insane in the Rain. He has self-taught many instruments. And I think, in general, everybody should strive, all musicians should strive to be like Carlos here. onto a bit of a lighter topic. I have recently been getting engrossed in RL Craft. If you don't know what RL Craft is, it is real-life craft for Minecraft. It's a mod pack made by Shivaxi. It's very, very difficult, which is perfect for me. I love difficult games. But it's also something I'm familiar with, which also is something that I like very much. I tend to be drawn to games like Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas and RL Craft, games with familiarity. Bloodborne, to a certain extent, I would consider the Dark Souls and the other Souls games to be their own breed. But games with a survival mode where you need to eat, drink, rest, take care of yourself. Things will kill you quickly if you're not careful, so stealth is important, as well as being armored and having weapons to defend yourself. But you do not actively seek out fights. Fights just happen, and you, most of the time, you're just running away or trying to not die, which is quite fruitless because you do die very often in RL Craft. But it's fun. It is really enjoyable. I half consider just making a server and inviting some of my friends to play it with me, because I feel like that would be really enjoyable. It'd be difficult without cheating, but I suppose it's not impossible. I started just today. I've been playing RL Craft for about a week and a half now. I started just today with my first Lost Cities world. And I don't know anything about these mod packs when I go into them. I did a little bit of research on Lost Cities just to figure out how to do it. But for the most part, I completely do not edit, or not edit. I do not look anything up for any of the mods that I play. This is the Consouls version of Cosmo Canyon. The Consouls are one of my favorite video game cover bands, well, anime too, and they're a little bit more than that. But I really, really do enjoy them. I will of course leave links to all of their, at least their videos that I include in here, in this video, in the description below. I really like Cosmo Canyon. I think it's a really good track. It's a really good location in Final Fantasy VII. It's one of my favorite locations in Final Fantasy VII after the Gold Saucer. And I'm really excited for the next Final Fantasy VII remake, with which hopefully not only the Gold Saucer will finally be revealed, but so will Cosmo Canyon. As both locations are not only some of my favorites, but include some of my favorite characters from Final Fantasy VII. It truly is a shame that Red 13 is not very viable, nor is Cait Sith in playing Final Fantasy VII, as those are objectively some of my favorite characters. Those are some of the most fun characters in the game, at least to me. You might dislike Cait Sith and Red 13. But I like them. Excuse me while I roll my cigarette here. Well, not roll, but freak my cigarette. I have to do that with American Spirit cigarettes. I have to freak them. And when I say freak them, I mean I put it between my fingers and then I roll lightly. That loosens up the tobacco in it. But it makes it smoke smoother. And it does help. It makes it a little bit faster, and it makes the actual intake a little bit more full. There's less tobacco getting in the way of the smoke. You've been with me for about 10 minutes now. I'd like to thank you for listening or watching any of my videos. I do appreciate it. I find that I check the viewer count and likes and stuff like that quite often, even though I really don't get any kind of viewership. But every time I do get a view, it makes me feel good. And I hope that I make somebody else feel good. Or at least can put them in a better mood. This next track will be When Mother Was There, the Persona 5 jazz cover by the Consouls yet again. You got a little bit of their outro, but oh well. It just happens sometimes. We'll switch over to Joker here for the Persona 5 music. I think that's a bit more fitting than having Red 13. I do these videos live, in case you're wondering, so sometimes mistakes like that will happen. And I find that it's a little bit more genuine when I do these things live. Personally, I like to listen to music with people, and I think that this is about as close as I can get on YouTube. I would probably be taken down if I were to stream this, and, well, if I ever did get popular, I would have to change up what I listen to more than likely. So, if you're listening to this, well, it means I'm not famous enough for anybody to care about me, or the things I upload. So, this will kind of be more of a private and intimate kind of style of video that will eventually, quite possibly, be something I will be unable to do. But hopefully, I'll be able to keep these videos like this coming for a good while. So if you do like these kind of videos, then there's something for you. Just kind of something to listen to, have in the background or whatever. I may not be the most entertaining person in the world, but I don't claim to be an entertainer. I don't even really claim to be an internet personality. I am me, in all my faults, in all my misgivings, and in all the good things. And I prefer it that way. I prefer being genuine. because there's not a lot of genuine people out there in the world today. Everybody, it seems, is obsessed with this idea of fame and fortune, and making it big, and leaving their mark. That they forget who they really are. And then they'll struggle with being themselves and being somebody else. And I think everybody does this to a certain extent. Everybody has a persona they put on around other people. We all wear many masks. We all hide ourselves from the world. It's a way to protect us, really. To protect ourselves. In a very true, in a very natural way. I think that's okay. I think it's okay to protect yourself. If you need to wear a mask, then you need to wear a mask. But it's important to not lose sight of who you are and what is important to you. Because when you do lose sight of who you are, then you'll lose sense of your own morality. And I fear from there it is a slippery slope into depression and anxiety. This final song I have for you is No More What Ifs by the Consouls. No More What Ifs is personally my favorite track from Persona 5 The Royal. Which is one of, if not my favorite game, as most of you are well aware. Unfortunately, this is not the lyric video. There will be no songstress in this one. But that's okay, because even the instrumental, especially a cover by the Consouls, is still good. Everybody wears masks. And those masks often will eventually, if left unchecked, become abusive and habitual. The idea of a palace to me is very interesting, as Persona 5 puts it. The twisted desires of man. Becoming a pocket dimension, almost, with which they see themselves as a ruler or a god. And I think it's not unfair to say that these things might actually exist. Not in the literal sense, but in the figurative sense. People really do have very deep-rooted emotions and ties with which they do feel like they rule a place, in which they are the king or the god of their own world. I think it's a very interesting idea. Only those that know how to show their true self are able to fight against those so deep-seated in evil and wickedness. Maybe I'm projecting a bit, but oh well. I suppose if I don't project, then it'll never happen, and you'll never really hear what I have to say. Or what I really have to say. And with that, I'm going to leave you all tonight. Or today, or whenever you listen to this. It's 2:50 a.m. I think my AC just turned on. I hope you all enjoy your day. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, a dislike if you disliked it. Leave me a comment if you would like to add to a discussion or anything. Please subscribe if you're not already. And if you know anybody that would find themselves potentially bettering themselves by finding one of these videos, please share this video. And with that, I leave you all. Goodbye.